welcome back to the Mr. Arsenal podcast. We are literally, what time is it now? Moments away from the grand reveal of the new Emirates look, and obviously the main part of tonight's stream. So I'll have an update on the one, the only Mudryk from the Shakhtar Donetsk, and give you a quick update on that, get your thoughts on that. But I thought, you know what, whilst I'm doing this, I might as well give you my first reaction to the brand new reveal of the brand new look outside of the Emirates. Just waiting for them to make the grand unveiling news. Just bear with me a moment. We need to share the screen just I'm ready. If you're new to the channel, do smash that like button, do subscribe as well, completely free, turn on the notification bell. But at the moment, it seems a bit pointless at the moment because on YouTube I've had another nightmare again where no matter what channel you subscribe to, if you've got the notifications turned on or not, they decide, you know what, we're not going to tell you if your content creator's going live or not, or they've uploaded. So it sort of screws me over and others over as well along the way. So YouTube, I keep saying it every now and then, they do need to sort their fucking lives out. Oh dear, what am I doing there? Right, refresh. Just a bit of an update. The reason why we're doing a sort of reaction to the grand unveiling of a new ground, and I'm just seeing photos now. A photo now anyway. Here we go. And this is literally what they've just released this. Then, yep, they've just released this. I'm going to pause it for a second. Like that. Turn myself onto the comments. Big up Nemesis in the chat already. Also, give you your thoughts, on your honest thoughts as well about this as well, because again we've got to remember this is sort of what they're unveiling is what's going to look like, but it is a 3D model they're using as well, so you've got to remember that. Going to turn this on big. Make sure it's on your screen big. Yep. I'm using Arsenal Twitter. Shouldn't be a problem. I never had a problem before. So here we go. I'm going to turn the volume up as well, in case there's a bit of sound to this. And off we go. Okay. Oh, bloody all right. Okay. From the worldwide fan base, we have. Oh.
And now right, and the crowd rising in expectation.
I like this. I like that.
Sidestepping one, sidestepping two.
Okay.
Newcastle, a central figure again, and he looks to trick Michael.
Been integrating both the men, the legends, the men, the women as well. Yeah, where are we going now? Okay. I think they should have done it a bit slower so you get a proper look at it of all the images they're using. But you know what? I'm happy. The main thing I'm happy with that is because we've lost the Legend Memorial now. We've had for the last decade. That was faded. That needed updating anyway. So instead of just updating, like giving a fresh lick of paint on it, they've obviously torn it, but they've sort of kept with that, but modernised as well. And also, one of the memorials is solely based on the worldwide fan base of Arsenal, of all the Arsenal fan communities built around the world from the club. I love that as well. That's a great touch there. And when they've touched on the legend side of things, like we've got ex-players on these particular memorials going around the stadium. It's not just like the men; it's the women as well. And it's another thing they're sort of trying to do, modernise as well, is bring the women's game up alongside the men and get that. And basically, it's just we are as one base. We're not. It's not just the men. It's the men's senior team or whatever. We are as one. It's the men and the women. Everyone. We're one big family. I'm liking it. I might watch that again in a sec. Let's do it again. You know what? I'll do it again because it was I would have preferred a bit longer video. Slowly on the images, a bit more, and take it in a bit more. I like this. What's against North London, home of the Arsenal. Just going back to us there. I'm going to stop it before we get into Modric. We all get onto Modric soon. I will say that. I will say that. What I like about this first one, obviously, you got the current badge crest. We all know. Yeah, we all have our opinions on that, on the current setup of the badge we have, the crest. And obviously you got the welcome. It actually looks like a banner, like welcome to North London, home of the Arsenal, not just Arsenal, the Arsenal. And the little details around it, above it, like the classic Arsenal font A, AFC, the old school looking, like how can I put it? The shape of what used to be the badge years ago. Way before my time. But it does feel like Arsenal. It's got at Arsenal. And again, because it was going so fast, you don't see it. The gold trim around it as well, but it looks like it's going to be more of it. It looks like an actual proper banner. You just drop and it's just there, and it's just I like that. Arsenal red as well, not any red, it's Arsenal red. This is what I was on about before, about involving all the different Arsenal fan base communities around the world, up and down the country, around the world. You've got Arsenal Scotland, Brazil, Jamaica, Indonesia, the Faroe Islands, Turkey, East Sussex, well, that's not over the world, but it's up and down the country. I did say that. The Maldives, South Africa. I'm just trying to fucking read some of these because they are tiny, and you're trying to figure out Arsenal Nigeria and Arsenal Germany, Denmark, Finland, Arsenal Georgia, the gay Gooners community as well. Their what's you call it? Their banner flag, whatever they want to call it these days, that's been incorporated into it as well. But it's all the community again. It does seem like the objective of doing this new look outside of the stadium, Arsenal look, memorials, you call them. It is a more of a, again, it's not just Arsenal, it's the Arsenal. We are as one, we are a family, we are connected by the one mutual interest, but we are a family, we are all together for one for all, basically. That makes sense at all. Arsenal Georgia, Japan, Ireland, this is in the island, in fact, in the bottom corner there. South London, Arsenal Gooners community, Finland. Oh, fucking, I'm literally, there's somebody who's so small I can't read it. Is that Belgium? There's Belgium somewhere around there. Sweden, didn't notice that before. Sweden flag. Australia, Mexico, South Wales Gooners. Again, I like that. It goes and keep as go on. It does keep sort of tying to this main message they're sort of trying to send out, basically. And that, I mean, there was ever since they announced this about a year ago, they were going to give a new look to the outside of the stadium. There was this hope that we incorporate some way Highbury into the new look, basically. And I don't know what, and as we can see in one banner, they've actually done it. Obviously, using the main part of Highbury. Everyone around the world recognises, even the younger generation that are not old enough to have been around when Highbury was our home and all that. You see that, you know that's Highbury. It is what it is, and it's a mark. Basically the stand basically to where the marble halls underneath here would be the door into the marble halls, and yeah, you got us, and obviously you got the banner Arsene Knows with a figurine of Arsene Wenger. I think that's a good touch. Again, again, with his visit recently to the Emirates on Boxing Day, you want to do something to acknowledge him as well. And some again, in every single little window you can see, there are ex-players from the past, way back again. Cliff Baston, I can see. There's Charlie George of the FA Cup, I believe. George Graham, Henri, Bergkamp, you name it. Just zooming in here. There we go. So we got, as I said, the Arsene Nose with the gold trophy with Wenger. Is that Kenny Smith? And Faye White, I believe. And it's above Arsene there. Kenny Sampson. Yeah, you've got to have Kenny Sampson involved in this as well. Right, Pat Rice of the FA Cup. Pat Rice of the FA Cup. David Seaman and Bob Wilson. The famous back four: Dicko, Adams, Boldy, and Nigel Winterburn, respectively. Again, you've got to take them not the greatest in my, not just my lifetime either. Like the famous back four, the greatest defence ever to grace the Premier League, no matter what anyone says in modern day football. I think they got. I think that's Cliff Baston there as well. Let's move on.
And now right.
And then you've got
The crowd rising in expectation. Sidestepping runs. So, a central figure. Again, and he looks to trick Michael, and it's in! And it's in! A goal!
Right. Can you hear me now? Please tell me you can hear me now, because I'm going to be pissed off otherwise, because I'm going to end the stream, delete it, and start again. I feel like doing that anyway, because I'm so naffed off now. For the last 20, 15 minutes, I've been talking to myself, basically. Fucking hell. Yay. I hate this fucking stream. StreamYard need to sort their fucking lives out. Seriously. This one doesn't have an issue on any other software, streaming wise. Not an issue. Occasionally, every time I use it on here, occasionally we have issues. It's pissing me off now. To the point I'm banging the fucking microphone, which is not going to help things. But so basically with Mudryk, right, we'll go back. I will go back and recap and give my thoughts like I was doing previously on the Emirates, basically. Again, yay. Hopefully, when I'm doing that, it won't mute itself like a bastard again. You watch it doing now, you watch. I blame it Apple. No, nothing to do with StreamYard. I've used bloody, what was I used at one point for streaming on this channel? OBS and all things like that. Not an issue in terms of the mic. The only issue was obviously connection, basically, with the software being a pain in the ass. But the actual mic side of things wasn't an issue. Only have an issue on StreamYard. It's really pissing me off. Right, Modric. Right, Monday. Arsenal Oxford's playing. News then comes out that Arsenal and Shakhtar have been talking back and forth, and they're so close. They've agreed to fee, the actual main number of what they're going to sell him to. What we've got to give over, basically. Right, so that the fee has been agreed. It's just a matter of the structure of the deal. In terms of, for fuck's sake, how can I put this? The percentage of how much we're going to give them up front. We want to hold 30% back and do that in not in installments, but in the add-ons and all that. So it comes in 30% comes in add-ons of the fee we've agreed. They want 20%. This is from Monday. It's then developed over the last 40 hours. They are now getting closer to finally getting the agreement in place that Arsenal can then not stop wasting time and go in a third and final bid that they know is going to be accepted, and we can get Mudryk over, get him signed up, get his medical dealt with, make him an Arsenal player between some point this year. That'd be fantastic where it's going. And then as soon as we can do that, we're going to move on to another player that we've got in mind we've been linked with for 6 months nearly, maybe longer actually, maybe a year. No, a year actually we've been linked with him. Savage. Go away. Just go away. I'm going to throw this phone against the wall. I really don't like you. I really don't like you. Oh, you're a drain on my life. Chris popped into the Chris Marcy saying fastest white dude baller I've ever seen in a long while, since maybe Robin and Overmars before. That's another stat that's come out that year Champions League wise. He's the fastest player that's played in Champions League this season so far. Exceeds everyone, and he's young now, so he's going to have that pace to him. But it's great to have that, obviously, with how we play as well. But we are so close; it's painfully close. The only reason it's dragged on this long now. I said this last week, after obviously off air to people in the group chats, and I mean on Twitter and WhatsApp and all that, and the one individual that wants to complain 24/7 on Twitter. I've had to talk to him privately as well about it. The only reason it has dragged on this long, this Modric side of things, is because Chelsea got themselves involved, and they did we're interested. Had the meeting, not made an offer. So they deliberately, I don't care what anyone says, got involved and delayed this deal being done and dusted by now. Because if they hadn't got involved, this would have been done and dusted literally, as I said, this would have been done before the Oxford game. and we've been now fully focused on in the last couple of weeks on our midfielder side of things. But no, can't be doing that, can we? Because Chelsea have to be Chelsea. The biggest meme going around at the moment is literally Chelsea copying Arsenal's homework. Basically, oh, you're interested in that one? So are we. Oh, João Felix, you're interested in him? So are we. And the annoying thing that João Felix, I mean, we all know he's gone to Chelsea. That's been confirmed today. Officially, that's been confirmed today. He's going to Chelsea, but no option, no obligation to buy. He's going back in the summer. He's before he flew out to London to do his medical work with Chelsea. He has extended his deal at Atletico because it's now known since obviously they agreed to loan him to Chelsea. That in the meantime, on the other side of the Atletico side of things, Diego Simeone will be leaving at the end of the season. No if buts or maybes, he is gone. That was the main thing that was making João Felix wanted out. And now that the fact that Simeone's going, he's agreed to sign a new contract. If the matter comes the summer when he goes back to Atletico and they hire Simeone's replacement is hired, he's a spitting image in terms of how he likes to play his game, like Simeone. I honestly believe Arsenal will then go in for him. It might cost a bit more now because obviously he's extended his contract, like I just said. But the fact will be, no matter what happens in terms of winning the league or not, the fact we'll be back in the Champions League, we will have the funding to then go and get a player like João Felix in. But I think that's the only way that's going to happen now in the summer is if Atletico, after getting rid of Simeone, hire a spitting image of him in a new manager in terms of how that manager then likes to set his team up and play. Because the whole point of João Felix kicking off and falling out of Simeone is because he doesn't suit how João Felix wants to play, basically, and he's not allowed to express himself, etc., etc. He's too defence-minded. His words, along with others. But yeah, that's the only way I think we can get João Felix now is if Atletico completely screw themselves over. Bye-bye, Simeone. Hello, Simeone Mark II with someone else. Then Felix will be like, you know what, I want out. And the only thing is Atletico will be able to demand a higher fee than now because he signed an extension to his contract to 2027. But again, it's not the end of the world. And the only reason he's gone now, I said this yesterday to someone who complained a lot on Twitter, and he's doing my head in, so I contacted him privately, and we had this out. The only reason he's gone to Chelsea is because Chelsea got battered on Sunday, and then the fans got on their back, really ramping up online, and they've clearly seen this and gone, well, we don't want to sack our manager. We need to get the fans on side and be happy. What are Arsenal doing? Oh, João Felix. Then they're not. Arsenal may not aren't agreeing to what Atletico are asking for. Well, we're going to have to basically give Atletico what they're asking for and more. And basically agreed straight away. We want the player. We'll give you what you want in loan fee. Didn't negotiate at all. They'll give Atletico what they wanted in loan fee, and then to add to that, they've told Atletico we'll pay every cent of his wages between now and the end of the season when he goes back to you. So Atletico are thinking, well, hey, all holidays have come at once because they've not only got the loan fee they wanted, they've then got every cent of his wages off the bill for the next 6 months. They don't have to give him a cent. It's all coming from Chelsea. And as I said before, no other club operates a loan deal like that. With a brain, no owner, no one that knows football operates like that. You don't go and go. You don't go. Oh, okay. You don't negotiate. Don't negotiate. You negotiate the best deal for you. You don't just go. Oh well, you're asking for it. Well, this is what you're asking for. We'll give it to you. But also to add as an added bonus for you, we'll cover every cent of that person's wages for the foreseeable. In loan deals, in the majority of loan deals, it is split depending on the side of the club, etc., etc. But it is always split. So, for example, if an Arsenal player is going out on loan to, for example, Wigan, because Arsenal are a bigger club and have the funding to cover the wage, not all the wages, obviously, cover a percentage of the wages. They will cover the majority percent of the wages, whilst Wigan will cover up the rest, for example. But no one, not especially in Chelsea, when it be a big club, they don't go to another big club in Atletico Madrid and go, "We'll pay all the wages. Don't worry about that." No, you haven't walked into a rant. I'm just explaining why. Yeah, Felix. There's people out there rant. There's one person out there ranting. It always rants. When anything goes wrong at Arsenal, he doesn't like. It's Edu out. Arsenal are wrong. They don't care. We deserve more. Like, get a life, seriously. So I've had to have words with that person privately, but I'm just repeating what I said to that person in terms of the only reason he went there is because Chelsea didn't want to negotiate. They just went in there and went, "We're going to give you what you want, and a bonus of more with paying his wages, every cent of his wages." Chelsea are really looking at Twitter to see the biggest targets of the January window. Yeah. No, they're just talking. It's literally Arsenal the next day. It's basically like we're at school, you have your exams and all your GCSEs or whatever, if you're in the world, the equivalent basically. And you're on the desk, there's rows and rows, and you've got someone next to it. So you're in the end row, for example. Chelsea on the end, they're that person in the end row, and there's someone next to them on the next row. It's the equivalent of them doing the test, right? Going through the test, going through the questions, and every now and then copying and hoping at one point they'll get it right. Oh dear. You need to sort of repeat your question there, my friend, because is the man in, or it's basically all but done. It's literally in the next 24 hours, it will be a breaking that it's done. Edu, hope watching the old Johnny D is who we need. No, I don't. I've watched the Johnny D you're on about from Lille enough times now. Not personally, not for me. He's not done enough for me to convince me he'll be a massive upgrade or have a good input into our team. So £88 million, Ryan. Just how much is delayed by payments? The fee itself, the full fee in the main fee is going to be put out. Basically, it's going to be around 70 to 75 million. It's not confirmed. It won't be confirmed officially until the deal's gone through, but it's around 70 to 75 sterling, English pound, by the way. So whatever that is in euros. So I think so. Yeah, it's that. So the main fee itself's been agreed. It's just how much we're going to give them up front now. Once I get the lights, you can see me. Say this bloody thing. So it's a matter of how much upfront we're paying them now in that main fee, and how much of the rest of it are we going to do in bonuses and all that. That's it, and it's so close. It's literally hours away from being done, basically done and dusted. And we move on basically to our hopefully next target. Imagine after all this, we only looking at him. I'll actually cry. Stefan, happy talk. Talk about the things that we like to do. If you don't have a dream, how are you going to have a dream come true? Bloody hell, Stefan, that's very deep. Even for you. No disrespect, obviously. Like Stefan says here as well, massive shout out to Stefan. Please hit that thumbs up button. Doesn't cost you anything. Completely free. Massive. Hit the thumbs up. The more thumbs up we get, the more YouTube see it. They recommend it amongst the football, not just the Arsenal community, but the football community as well. and we sort of go from there. And it just grows, and it helps the channel grow a lot quicker, basically. So basically, yeah, it's like when it comes to bonuses, it's dependent on what bonuses are put in the contract. Basically, what sort of bonuses have been put back and forth. So it could be, for example, it could be team performances of like league for amount of for basically, for example, for the amount of time that Modric's at Arsenal, every time he wins a trophy, be it League, FA Cup, League Cup, Champions League, or whatever, they will get an extra added on fee with that themselves. Scores an X amount of goals in a season, they get they'll get a fee for that as well, an extra percentage on top, etc., etc. If he ever gets a Ballon d'Or while at Arsenal, they will get a bonus. They will get an extra bonus on top with that. If he ever got Player of the Season or Young Player of the Season awards as well, individual awards, Golden Boots, for everything, basically anything he achieves in a positive sense, they will get an added on fee, basically, every time it's achieved, basically. Yeah, the irony behind your comment, Conky the Sugar Dad. Who would have thought? Who would have thought 5 years ago that would be used as an Arsenal positive, basically, and not taking the mick? Oh dear, you've got to laugh. You don't laugh, cry. Oh, just bear with me a second. Just double checking a few things I'm here. Come on, guys. 822 views so far. 822 people have come in and watched this stream so far. Only 15 likes. We can do better. We have done better than that before. We can absolutely smash it if you really want to. Right. I'm going to go back to Twitter just briefly. We're going to go back on that Arsenal's page. We're going to get that video back up again, and we'll review it like I was before, the professional manner I was doing for the 10 minutes that I was muted, unknowing to me. Pray to God it doesn't happen again. I'm getting my phone just in case. So if you go in the chat, you can let me know, or anyone's got my number on WhatsApp or add me on Instagram or Twitter. DM me if it happens, please. Otherwise, I might actually have a breakdown and cry. Oh dear. Give this guy a follow as he's followed me back. What we're doing, there we go, that's one way. Right here. To the Arsenal. There we are, there we go. Right, let's get this video back up and running. Not that big. God give me strength. One second. Where's Bungle? I don't know. He hasn't popped in yet. Probably pop in near the end. No, my luck. Oh dear. No, not fucking inviting people. I want fucking share that screen. That's the one I wanted. There we go. Go try this again, please. Please scream me. Don't scream me again. Oh, then we finish off and do a bit more Mudryk talk and we'll finish things off afterwards. Right. So I've got the full volume. I get you. So this is basically, for anyone that's coming in now, we did look at this at the start of the stream, but for some reason, StreamYard wanted to fuck me over without me knowing, muted me. For 10 minutes, I'm here going, reviewing this video, bit by bit, professional as you can be. And yeah, I found out I was muted for the last 10 minutes, for the entire 10 minutes of me talking. So we're going to go over it again quickly, but you can actually hear my thoughts this time. I want to get your thoughts on it as well. But this is the new, for anyone's new, of the month. So like I mentioned before, got the new, obviously got the new badge, or the current badge, basically, not new, it's current badge. So we've had since 2003. Not what I think now. 02. Basically, the summer of 02. So what was it? June, July 2002 was when we started using this badge on our shirts and this and the other, and all merchandise at the club officially. So that's always going to be at the side of the stadium. That's been there ever since they refurbed that. That's already been refurbed. We're looking at the banners, the memorials that look like banners, but obviously there'll be joined into the stadium, basically, joined to the stadium. This is the first one. As again, I'll figure out in a sec whereabouts this is actually. These particular banners are at the Emirates. So look at if you're Arsenal fan or a neutral fan, if you want to look out for this one you want to get a photo of or whatever in person, this way where you got to look out for, basically where you got to go. Again, like this, straight to the point. Welcome to North London. Again, I like the red. It's proper Arsenal red. I like the Arsenal A. I'm going to double check make sure I haven't been muted. Just double checking, we're all good. Yeah, like the classic A for Arsenal we used over the years. AFC in the corners, the gold trim around it all, and the home. And was it home of the Arsenal, not just Arsenal, the Arsenal. And again, for the old school, that had more of a to it. Again, this is the main one I liked the most at the time. When I first looked at this, I was like, boom, 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 because I think the main message they're trying to send out is we are one big happy family, basically, a family club still, worldwide family club. All these massive Arsenal communities up and down the country, in and around the world, be it up in where is it before? Where would you look before? Just for examples of. In terms of it, South Wales Gooners there, you've got the Irish Gooners, you've got the Jamaican Gooners, you've got Norway Gooners, Switzerland, Brazil, Nigeria, the gay Gooners community, their flag's there as well. Red Action Gooners is there as well. Let's have a look for sure if that's on there. Got the Bosnian Gooners flag there as well. Turkish, Australia, East Sussex in terms of in the country. South Africa, Kenya. There's Canada in there somewhere as well, don't worry. Scotland, other parts of England, St. George of it. Arsenal, Germany. Arsenal, Finland. Czechoslovakia. Denmark. Belgium. I meant Norway, haven't I? I was trying to look for She War. The She War factory, that made the cut. Hungary's then the corner there. Greece, there's a Irish 3-leaf clover at the bottom underneath the point of the badge at the bottom. Arsenal, Georgia, Japan. Again, all against Australia as well. Also, again, it does have that, as I was saying before, that family, the family Arsenal club. But we are a family club still, even though we're worldwide. We think of ourselves as one big happy family, basically. This I think their method. I think of these checking now. Ethiopia, Arsenal Ethiopia's on there as well. Big up yourself. I hope new to the channel. I hope I see a lot more of you, my friend, going forward. We have but if you just joined us, we did speak about the transfers in terms of Modric and how close we are now to having that done and dusted, and we can move on to our next target, which seems to be Savic of Lazio. It seems to be the next target once we get Mudryk officially done and dusted. It's just a few more hours, and that'll be done, my friend. Oh, the Slough and Staines Gooners on there. I'll have a look. When I go off this, I'll have a look again. I'll screenshot and zoom in and have a look around it and all that. When I do the zoom in stuff, I'll screenshot and have a look. More likely, Russ, more likely. it's just because they just try to because of the space they have, they've tried to cram so many flags in and give that feel. Stefan, who's a neutral, again, if anyone that's new to the channel, Stefan is an Ipswich fan, as he says here. Arsenal's community is great, to be honest, as an Ipswich and sceptic fan. You said it, not me. Stain's massive. East side is the best, not the west side is the best. Just me and you. Oh dear. Briefly, for a moment, when Sam came back from Norway, Sam was part of our little community as well. Stains and Slough. Then he thought, no, I'll rather go some. Where's he gone now? I can't remember where he's gone now. But anyway, oh dear. I think he's not far from it. It's more like Essex anyway. Arsenal only # Jesus. Yeah, we are positive. We are positive. By the way, if you are new to the channel, I haven't seen your name before, so I do. If you have subscribed before but haven't seen you before, I do apologise. But as long as you're on this channel, you'll see how can I put it? How can I put it? How different we are to other channels in terms of how positive we try to be and find the positives and everything. We are Arsenal fans as well. We do watch-alongs though. In terms of our watch-alongs, we do for the Arsenal men's and women's team. By the way, it's more of a trying to give you the feel as if we were all there, have that same reaction basically. Unlike other channels that just sit there in Spain and go, "Yay, we scored." This is more of an upbeat Arsenal community we're building here in the channel and football community, because we've got, as I say, Stefan and a few others that are neutral fans of the channel. Yeah, but this again, I mentioned again when I was muted. I mentioned this before. There was hope that the Cronkies and the people that are organising all this would somehow incorporate Highbury to look at this particular image itself in particular as well, in terms of the actual Highbury part of the take from that marble halls there. But literally, because underneath here, if you guys can, I don't know, where underneath the bottom bit where there'd be a door, that'd be the marble halls. So this is taken from that particular stand. Obviously got, and they've got little windows here, most of them, the majority of them anyway. There's nods to Arsenal's past, obviously way before my time and in my time as well. Along the way, when it zooms in, we'll go over a few of them as well through the people that are featured on it. So on here, so on the right hand side, so yeah, on our right hand side, as you'll see it, obviously got the Arsene Mo's banner with the gold trophy there from the Invincible season. Arsene Wenger standing in front of the Arsenal fans at the Fullmasjid Hall, celebrating winning the title at their gaff. Again, they had to do they had to give him acknowledgement in this memorial they've built up. They had to do something to acknowledge him. They do other bits and pieces, but individually there in that moment, they've taken that. I like that. That's class. So you got at the bottom here, you got the Arsenal back, the famous Arsenal back four. If you're an Arsenal fan, you know this back four. When I say when an Arsenal fan says the famous back four, you know the Arsenal back four that we're on about. But for the younger generation that maybe doesn't quite up to date with that side of the history, you've got Dicko, got Lee Dixon, Tony Adams, Steve Bold, Nigel Winterburn, all trying to play the famous offside trap. I think that's Pat Rice, I believe, with the FA Cup. Don't know what year that is. That could be either 71 or trying to think now. What was the other year? Under Sunderland, 79. That's the one. But Kenny Sampson up there in the corner as well. Up here in this little bit here with the Arsenal cap on, with a trophy. One of the trophies he won at Arsenal. Probably the Little Woods Cup. Cliff Baston there in that corner there. Got Keith Smith and Faye White up above where Wenger is. From, I'm assuming, the 06-07 season.
And now right, and the crowd rising in.
And now on here, there's a few players I'm not going to know from way back before my time. Oh, I'm trying to think. That might be. It's either George Armstrong or Brady, one of the two. Until I see it up close, I can't tell properly. Anyway, got Paddy Vieira, righty. You got I can see it. I can make out Paul Davis, Kev Campbell, Rocky and Ian. Well, I can make out anyway. And a few other players again from way from more time that I want.
In expectation.
It's so far away. So I got that as a match. Just about to my phone. No, not again. To be honest, as a one Celtic fan, a Celtic channel I'm not keen on. I don't know. Conky the donkey with his evolving wig. Yeah, can't. That's so obvious as well as a wig. Got Gene in the chat. Arsenal boards in transfer. That's why I can't. Why they can't win the EPL? Okay, Gene, are you an Arsenal fan or are you a fan of another club? Just ask. I'm not having a go. I'm just asking. Because at this moment in time, you're saying Arsenal boards in transfers, but we don't want to. We're just being sensible in our transfer dealings. We're not going to pay £100 million for a 19-year-old. We'll pay a bit less, still a lot, but we won't fucking pay £100 million for a 19-year-old kid because we're not going to have a Jack Grealish on our hands. Put it that way. And we're trying to learn from our mistakes with Pepe, but we are still going to pay a lot of money. We have to pay a lot of money, but still, we're not going to pay over the odds. What we believe is over the odds for that player. And I said this. I did say this before. I don't know if you was here earlier. In terms of Mudryk, it's a matter of that this deal would have been done last week if Chelsea hadn't jumped in and messed things up a bit and delayed what is going to be the inevitable, in terms of him coming to us, because they knew what they were doing. The fact they've had a meeting. They arranged a meeting with the Shakhtar owner when he came to West London last week, and they haven't made a bid since. They've made no communication since, and they then panic and go and get Yao Felix. Tells me they knew what they were doing because they knew they wouldn't have a chance. If Shakhtar accepted both Arsenal's and Chelsea's bid, there's only one way. There's only one place he was going. That was going to be coming to us. But they just delayed it, in my opinion. Anyway, it was take the piss. Nemeth is asking, why do we take so long getting transfers over the line? This one in particular, the Mudryk one, as I've just mentioned, the reason it's taken longer than what I even told you guys it was going to take, because this deal would have been done before the Oxford game. If Chelsea hadn't done what they did last week, Chelsea getting involved last week and playing the games they did last week delayed it all. And it's just, and as I say, it's delayed it. So it's prolonged a few extra days now, but we are close to having it done and dusted, guys. So patience, just patience. Don't get too panicked. Put it that way. I'm going to go back to this whilst you're. I'll just double check. I was muted again. Hello to a new face in the chat. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're keeping well. What phone do you have? I have an iPhone XR currently. Get upgraded soon, next few months. But yeah, I mentioned again when I was muted. I mentioned this before. Right, I love this as well. This again, sticking to the main message of the community, the family, and all that. Showing it also we're not just celebrating our past history, our past success on the men's side, and only on the men's side. We are celebrating all aspects, and that includes the women's side of our club as well, the women's team. And they've pulled on in this image here. They've pulled on the two most famous moments in the respective teams at our club. Their most historic moment, basically. Obviously, the men gold trophy again. That gives, in terms of the men's side of things, it gives it away. The images gives it away. The kit gives it away. The trophy gives it away. Basically, obviously the entire squad, men's team squad from the 03-04 season, all in there by the looks of it. Again with Ashley Cole, it might be way in the foreground, just like a dot basically, because obviously you don't want to upset Arsenal fans and all that. So like he's probably like one way at the back, but maybe again, I'm not sure there you'll be able to see who is actually where at the back and all that. Obviously, got that gold trophy. Again, it's a nod to the Invincible season, so the Premier League title, but in gold. And you've got obviously Bergkamp, Vieira, Parla, Freddie, Thierry, Arsene, Perez, Campbell, Loren. I'm trying to think now. Colo Torre. And I'll say Ashley Gilberto as well. I'm trying to think who the other two are that I can't tell. But one at the back, I believe maybe Ashley Cole. Just as because the reason why Ashley Cole's more of a distance because obviously the Chelsea thing. And on the women's side of things, the entire women's squad from the 06-07 season. And again, including Alex Scott, by the way, and Sanderson as well, amongst others, Faye White, Kelly Smith, etc., Rachel Yankee. This particular women's side of it, this is the women's team from 06-07, where they won the quadruple, not just the League Cup, FA Cup, from the women's side of things, but they also won and became the first English team to win the Women's Champions League. And still the only women's team to win, the only English women's team to win the Champions League to this day. Contrary to popular belief outside of Arsenal, in terms of the media and all that, the Arsenal women's team were the first English women's team to win the Champions League. And that's that trophy before they reverbed it and revamped it basically in the last few years. Got Colin in the chat. Alex got big up Colin as well, by the way. Got Alex 15 says transfers in general take long, even to submit one bid involves a lot of paperwork. Yeah, but there's also discussions around the table even before that bid goes in, because the first bid is always a tester bid as well. Majority of the time, when it comes to you're buying a biplay in the winter or the summer, the first bid the majority of the time, the first bid is always the tester bid. The tester will see how far away or how close we are to the respective that current player's club in terms of valuation, how far away or how close we are to their own valuation, where we can negotiate down to and all that jazz. That's even before, and he's saying then you got the paperwork to put put the official bid in, and again, second time round we thought we got there. And then Chelsea fucked things up, so they ended up declined. And now we're back to square one, and we're on the verge of we've spent the last week and a half now getting ready for getting the third bid ready. But this time, the reason it's taking a couple of days longer than they had done for the first and second is because we want to get it spot on now and just get it done and dusted, and we move on and focus on the rest of the window and getting a midfielder in. Considering Arsenal's position, you would think they would get in there to demonstrate that the club means business. I think the Modric thing was it's putting out there with Modric because of how twerky he has been for the last 6 months in terms of having sit-down interviews with Zinchenko's wife, Boxing Day watching the Arsenal game, watching the Brighton game a few days later on New Year's Eve, and posting it on his social media, respectively. Because of how much he'd been twerking, I think the hope was to get this one done and dusted first, but they didn't think it would drag on this long, and it wouldn't have done if it hadn't been for Chelsea getting involved like they did last week. If Chelsea didn't do what they did last week, this deal would have been done by last Friday at the latest. But no, they had to jump in and get involved and cause anarchy for 72 hours, and it's just prolonged what is going to be the inevitable in terms of he's going to be an Arsenal player by the end of this window. I've said it'll be done. It's going to be, from what we're getting told now, it'll be done this week before the North London derby. Alex says Arsenal. I think Arsenal have made some amazing transfers this season. In terms of the summer, yeah, you can't. All the players we bought in the summer so far, we can't fault any of them. Either squad players or as starters, couldn't fault them to at all. Look at quality for value, exactly. Oh dear. Before we move on to the next image, I'm just going through the chat. And I will wrap this up soon because I need to actually cook dinner. LG, we all know. If anyone doesn't know who LG is, just think Arsenal fan in Spain went hiding a few years ago, basically. LG is slating Edu. That guy is not writing it. No, he isn't. But because of his mentality and what he does to drive his channel up and platform in general, there's people out there. There's one particular person I know out there that idolizes the ground this guy walks on. So when LG puts words out there like slating Edu and saying Edu out, you'll then have this other person I know, word for word, saying the same thing on Twitter, and then telling me that exactly word for word again on voice notes. I'm like, have your own thoughts, mate. That guy in Spain don't have a clue. Let's be brutally honest. He may say he does, but let's be honest, he's a pain in the ass. He's trying to be, even in what has been our most successful season in terms of, when I say season, I mean as a whole. We've lost, one game in the league, lost a League Cup game and one other league game. In our most successful season in years, and how we've been playing, conducting ourselves on and off the pitch, the fact that he still finds ways to complain, to drive out his platform, doesn't that speak volumes? And if it doesn't speak volumes to the people that need to realise that now, then they're far gone. There's no winning them back, basically. Who's it? Yeah, you mentioned LG, so that was it. Once you mentioned that guy, don't just, you know what's coming. When you mention LG or Voldemort, as some people in the chat portray him as, or whatever nickname you guys find for him, as soon as I see nickname or the guy living in Spain, you know what's coming, so you can't complain. Oh dear. But I'm not venting at the club. I'm venting at an individual that poisons the mind of the next generation, basically. What's the view on the new coach? Oh, the new attacking coach or whatever, basically for next season. We've got hired him, he's got the job, but he doesn't officially start until the summer, basically. What is it? Nicknamed the Techers God or something like that. Again, after it's announced, I've looked into it. From what I've seen, he talks a good game, but until he gets underway with his actual job in the summer, I can't really pass judgment on him or give any real proper thought, because again, he may look good elsewhere, but he can come to Arsenal. It might not work. His methods may not work. So, but we'll see. I'm not going to slate the guy. I'm not going to slag him off. He's got the chances of coming. He'll be part of the new set. And added addition to this current setup under Arteta. And I look forward to see what he does. Can't wait. And can only get better from what we've seen so far in terms of the individual improvement in coaching improvements we've added to the backroom staff since Arteta's been in the last 3 years. Barring the first guy we brought in from Brentford, the set piece specialist at Brentford. We brought in the first one, that didn't work. But since then, brought in the one from Man City. Brilliant. We've looked more solid defensively and offensively, and can't really complain. So I've got to say, in terms of this new guy we're bringing in officially in the summer, see what he does. Let him come in, and we'll kick on from there. If it works, fantastic. If it doesn't, I have no doubt come the following summer, he'll be out of a job. Oh, I know that. That's what I'm saying. But obviously, you can speak a good game and people can big you up. I mean, for example, Sambi Congo came recommended from the highest caliber of ex-players, not just Arsenal players, but Premier League players, i.e. the one that coached him before, Vincent Kompany, spoke highly of him. Henri spoke highly of him, to the point where Kompany himself actually said he's in the next Yaya Toure. He's been with us now 2 seasons, and he's struggling. Let's be honest. He does need a loan to go and get his confidence back and get some game time under his belt. But that's my point. I'm not going to say, "Oh, what fantastic! Hey, or what the fuck we're doing of." Just let the guy come in, let him do his job, because he's going to be working with the first team and the youth team's attacking players every other day, pretty much. Every other day, pretty much, for basically next season, from the summer onwards. Basically, so it's integrating the youngsters when they do come through for the odd cup game here and there next season. They know what's expected of them from Mikel, basically from an attacking sense. Oh dear, when will we be done? Joseph is. I'm assuming you're new to the channel as well. The deal is set to be done. What we're on Wednesday, aren't we? Anytime between now and Saturday. It's hours away from being agreed. It's then once it's agreed verbally, because when I say agreed verbally, because the fee itself's been agreed verbally. It's just a matter of the breakdown of the deal in terms of how much up front in the first payment, how much of that fee is going to go into installments via bonuses and all that on the other side of the contract. I think what I was saying now. Bear me a second. So yeah, once that side of the deal has been verbally agreed in terms of the bonuses side of it, Arsenal then go away quickly over a few hours later, get the paperwork sorted, send it off, get the deal submitted, the offer submitted, get the deal done, get him flying over from where they are now currently in Turkey, fly him over to London, get him his medical done, get him all signed up, do his interview stuff and this, that and the other, and then officially announce him. So any time now between now and more likely Saturday, early Monday morning, they'll never. The one thing you know of Arsenal, they will never announce a deal on a Sunday. For whatever reason, I don't know why, but it just never will. So at the very latest, it'll be early Monday morning, UK time. But at the earliest, Saturday. Sorry, this Saturday coming. Right, let's get back to this. Let's finish this video off so I can actually end the streaming and go do my rice to cook.
Newcastle, a central figure again, and he looks to
there we go. Again, like this, bundles of red and white. Oh, I didn't notice that. I didn't notice that before. The gun saw. What the hell? Again, obviously, I didn't notice that before. That little detail. They were Gunnosaurus. Obviously, a toy version of Gunnosaurus. That's not obviously the Gunnosaurus, because obviously, got a toy version of him. Obviously, tied to the cannon, for God's sake. 1886. Arsenal sticker on there. Rocky engraved on there. Again, Arsenal. That's a great touch. Then these little details I mentioned. Safe hands in terms of David Seaman, who you'll see in a second. But yeah, I liked all this. Obviously, Victoria Concordia Crescent, the Latin for what you're going to see in a moment of the Arsenal club motto. You've got Frank McClintock there, Alex Scott, Tony Adams, and behind Tony Adams there was David Seaman as well. And on this side of that exact same image, but on the other side, you've got Faye White, Ian Wright, Keown, and then Emma Byrne. Way, literally 06-07 got Arsenal goalkeeper. And a couple of players I'm literally struggling to remember. I know my history, and they're not there. You've got the 49 sticker slapped on that cannon as well. And this cannon actually faces the right way for once. Unlike the other cannon, this faces the right way. So Arsenal fans will be happy with this one. AFC with the cannonballs there. AFC. There's another sticker there actually. I'm trying to look at that. Is that something magic? I don't know. It says something magic. I can't exactly say. They've got yellow ribbon there as well. Sort of nod to the classic Arsenal song. She wore yellow ribbon. Yeah, Merry Month of May.
A goal for Arsenal.
Again, with this one, not much to really go and dive into. I'll just double check, make sure I'm not muted. I'll get back to your comment in a moment, Alex, if you're still there. Again, red, put Arsenal red in the background. 1886, the year the Arsenal was founded. The Arsenal, by the way. Gold trim around the sides. Again, nice little touch there. AFC in the corner there. The cannon facing the wrong way. Doesn't like that. But still be facing the right way. Again, little nods here. The little details in between the 1 and an 8 and the 8 and the 6 at the bottom here of the old Arsenal badge prior to what we've got nowadays. And now this little ribbon here, the black ribbon with the gold trim, that always forward. The little sort of slogan they've gone with for the last 3 years now, since we won the FA Cup in 2014. That's the sort of motto they've gone with, was always forward. Very last one. This is the very last one, and we'll wrap things up. Obviously, one flag, the white background, red cannon, the cannon facing the right way. Many fans would suggest the opportunity going across the top there, and basically like nods to all the players of the past, way before my time that I know of. Obviously, got Geordie Armstrong, Brady, McClintock, Charlie George. Trying to think now, and Sunderland and all that. And on the other side, you've got, to say, Charlie, Jack. I think that's Jack's there behind Charlie as well. David O'Leary, either Alex Scott or Rachel Yankee. You need to have a look, but I need to have a look at this. There's one image they didn't zoom into. So I need to have a look at this properly when I get off there. But again, all ex-players of the past, basically, with the cannon, with the this flag in particular, red background and white cannon, but the cannon facing the wrong way. But the words greatness. Again, look forward to the future. That we give opportunities. We do give opportunities to everyone, based in terms of the opportunities to the youth, and they achieve greatness. I.e., in terms of Jack and David O'Leary, Charlie George, etc., etc. Alex Scott, and then in the background behind the flags, you can just faintly see that part of the Emirates Stadium in the background, and then a block of flats there beyond the opportunity flag. Oh dear. Remove that. Thank you very much. Alex is saying, yeah, of course I respect that only because I know him personally and his whole background. That's fair enough. If anything, you can give us more of an insight of what the guy's all about then, in terms of his techniques, how and what his whole personality is about, and do you think he will actually fit in to what Mikel Arteta is trying to build, basically, going forward? Colin's saying, in terms of, obviously the video was going through, because at the start of this it just muted, but I didn't even know, so I do apologise for anyone who's going to watch this back. He says, I see a legends play here thing. There's that as well, but there's that. I think there's quite a few things then, because obviously I was mainly focusing on the we are family, we are one tight-knit community worldwide. Arsenal is still a family-run club, but worldwide, and also in terms of not acknowledging our past. We acknowledge not just the senior men's team, we acknowledge the women's team as well. But as you say, you've took a theme of the legends play here. Again, can't disagree with that either. That's a good shout there, actually, from Colin. Let me know your Instagram, as I will contact you personally and give you an exclusive. Well, my Instagram is not what it says at the end of this stream, I have a closing credit video thing, 10-second videos. I have my old Instagram on that got hacked randomly. So I've got a new one. The new one's quite easy to find actually. Just the name of the channel basically. Gonna find it. Literally, not even Mr. Arsenal. It's Mr. Arsenal podcast, and you'll see the channel logo and all that, and the few images I've used, and yeah. So that side of things, right? Go away. If you're still there, by the way, Alex. My phone dies. It wasn't this I was looking for. I was looking for this. 11. Bloody hell. No worries, Alex. No worries. As I say, it's literally just Mr. Arsenal podcast. You'll see the channel logo as the profile picture, basically. Matthew Boss says, "Big up, power, come on, you Gooners." Again, I haven't seen you before, so I hope you do stick around, basically, in terms of channel wise, because we're going to have a lot more transfer based shows for the rest of this month, on like every other day or whenever there's something to talk about, basically. But also, we could have we cover the Arsenal men's and women's teams in watch-alongs and all that. So this Sunday I'm going to be busy. This Sunday I'm doing the Arsenal women versus Chelsea women live watch-along with a couple of guests, hopefully. And then a couple of hours, about an hour and a half later, I'm going live again for the North London derby. So I am going to be shattered on Sunday, and then from after all that, Monday I'm then back again on Monday, as we look. Me and a few of the regulars basically come back, and we go over the what was it? We're here. I was asking numbers. Come on, throw me off tonight with it. That is it. Monday we're back with the podcast side of things. The actual podcast, the live podcast will be on the channel. The audio will be up on Spotify and all other audio platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all that malarkey, within 40 minutes of the live ending. So if you don't get to watch it live, if you miss it live, but you want to listen to, you want to be on the go and listen back, you can via audio on all these major platforms. Talking of which, yesterday I received an email. I put it out on my socials. I haven't put it on my community post on here yet, but I will do afterwards. I got an email basically from a website where basically Arsenal, this podcast, the Mr. Arsenal podcast audio, from the audio perspective, has now entered the top 20. I've got to get the words right here. Entered the top 20 Arsenal FC related podcasts in the world. I'm currently at number 13, just one behind the Gooners podcast. Obviously, Magic Mike, anyone that knows the Gooners podcast, Magic Mike and Owen and all that have run that side of things. Obviously, got the Anything Arsenal podcast. You've got Arsblog, Arscast, same old Arsenal podcast. Really good company actually, for considering. So when I got that, I looked at it, it's all genuine and all that. So I was like, I've shared it in the WhatsApp group chats yesterday, and then today I put in a big announcement on my Instagram and on my Twitter and all that. That audio-wise, this podcast is in the top 20 most, not just requested, but listened to podcasts in the world. And again, if you go and look at the podcast I'm currently in company with, I'm quite taken back by it, but it's a bit surreal to me, because obviously these other podcasts I'm surrounded by have been going a lot longer than a lot more seasoned than I am, and I'm like, okay, now we've got something. It's given me a massive boost actually in terms of my confidence, in terms of the audio side of things. Now that's been well received on that side of things as well. So hopefully we can sort of keep that growing whilst growing this channel here, this community we're building here. Keep growing both sides, the visual here, the audio over there at the same rate together. It'd be massive if I can do them both at grow at the same level at the same time, like they catch up. really kick on and become something of a force within the community of the Arsenal, basically. Because I don't know if you can tell, but I sort of am well married, obviously. Again, like most of you guys, I love Arsenal. Arsenal, it gives you, because obviously everyone loves football. They all their club, but with Arsenal, it's a get in terms of reality, in terms of what we do go the day-to-day life. Even when we're going through our bad patches, it's always a getaway. Match days are always a getaway from what we're going on in our own lives and all that. And I just love talking about football and talking about Arsenal with you guys and with people that I've built friendship. That's the main thing with this, especially during lockdown. Here in the UK, we continue to do what we did in the platform. We added the watch along, so now we can go to the games as well. And I've made genuine friendships along the way. And without this platform, that would never have happened. And every single one of you as well, all my regulars, Stefan, Nemeth, Colonel, BX Gunner, Mr. Bungle, Troy. Trying to think now. I'm going to run out of names in a minute. Was it Emily? Is Emma? Emily? Oh, bloody hell! Isabel. There's so many of you that obviously don't come on here onto the podcast. But actually, you just take part in the chat. You guys make all this. You helped this channel grow, this platform grow to the point where I'm doing the audio, and that's doing what that's doing now. To the point where the audio side of things is going well, just achieve something way beyond what I thought so quickly. So the audio side of things has only just happened in the last year, I say. So in 12 months, we've gone from literally just launching the audio side of the podcast to actually being one of the top 20. In fact, we are 13th in the top 20. So in the top 13 most listened to and requested Arsenal FC related podcasts in the world, and that again, that's massive. Obviously, the strive is we're not going to just settle for that and go sort of what the coattails of it. We're going to keep going. We are, as I say, we're going to keep growing this channel in terms of the visual side of things. We're going to keep growing the audio to the point where the audio is competing for number one. That's obviously that's I'm competitive in that side of things as well. I'm very competitive, so now I'm on that list. I want to strive with the audio side of things, and not just the audio, but also the here on YouTube itself. Strive for not being the number one. Obviously, with the YouTube side of things, you've got AFTV to compete against. To be number one, you've got to overtake AFTV, basically. Yay. No pressure there, Ryan, when they've got over 1 million subscribers and I've got what our company got at the moment. No pressure there. But that's what we've got to strive for. But not just being there, but just keep building, sustain what we're doing, and add more quality content that you guys are going to enjoy along the way. Oh dear. Ryan to buy up what Sonnet stands on about. Oh, don't even tempt me. I would be tempted being a gooner, but because I'm a gooner, he'll probably take the piss, try and price me out, the bastard. And again, friendship is more important. Thank you for the various club streams. The football YouTube community is awesome. When you come again, appreciate what you say, but also we do come across the odd. How can I put this without being causing drama? So I would say, but you do come across the odd channels, football wise, not talking Arsenal wise, but football wise. You do come across the odd football channel that aren't doing it for the right reasons. They're all for trying to be an AFTV type and being fake and all that crap. You just got to worm them out. And the fact that you've been around for so long, Stefan, along with a few most of the others on this channel, on here regularly, means a lot to me. That I'm clearly doing something right amongst all the anarchy that we, even though you're neutral, the anarchy as an Arsenal fan we've had to go through. And you could witness that. The fact you're even now in our good times, you're sticking around. We have a laugh. That means more than anything, basically. And yeah, long may it continue. And obviously, appreciate every single one of you who have supported myself and this channel, this podcast that we've been doing for will be, I think now, it'll be 4 years. I think now we've had 3 years of Arteta. Prior to that, 1.5 of what's the name? So 4.5 it'd be 5 years. Bloody hell, 5 years we've had this thing going. We started off a bit slow, but we get there eventually. 5 years? No, it can't be. Might be 4.5. Yeah, 4. 4. I'll figure it out a bit on and offline. I'll figure out how long we've been going, but still. Yeah, literally, it means so much that you guys do have stuck around and you do help promote the channel. You do help promote the podcast, and you do help when we ask. I do know you. I do, obviously, with the tools that YouTube give us as content creators, we do see that what you guys do for us in terms of sharing and where you're sharing it with, or Facebook or Twitter or etc. etc. So that is massive from my side of things. That's massively appreciated, and long may it continue. And as I say, the more we grow, the less you'll have to do. As we enter the end game of what we're trying to do here. As I say, strive to be the best, or to be the best of the best. And in terms of the visual side of things, we've just got to overtake AFTV. Nothing big, is there? Oh dear. You got to laugh. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. But I'm competitive. I'm a competitive motherfucker. And I love talking about my club to fellow Gooners and football fans alike. Even if you're not a Gooner, to come here, talk about the Arsenal with you guys, and get your perspective as well. Because that's, if anything, that's more important to get the neutral perspective as well. Because then you're getting a true perspective of how the club is seen from an outside pair of eyes, instead of just Arsenal fans all over the place. Anyone want to buy Prime? Says Nemeth. £100 a bottle if you're interested. That's cheap. If you know, you know. That's cheap. Got Karim in the chat, Mudryk, and then goes pay up or move on. Boring. It's basically, it's not about. If you go back and when the order is actually working, by the way, Karim, we do discuss this, and we are so close. It's literally the only reason it's dragged on this long, as I do say, like earlier, I've said earlier on the stream, is because of Chelsea. They dragged this on an extra week, basically. It will be done in the coming days. Don't worry, my friend. Evening, Ryan. Congratulations on making the top 20. Keep going and keep doing what you're doing, mate. And again, congratulations both back to you, my friend, because you're with that, as I was saying earlier about being in great company. James's podcast is currently 10th in the top 20. So again, massive congratulations. Keep doing what you're doing as well, my friend, with Neil and all that. This is longer. Yeah, but you get to see more of me. And I'm not being political either. £1 fish, Jesus Christ. Oh, where's Ravi? Oh dear. £1 fish. You've got the song in my head now. I'm gonna kill you. Oh dear, but we are gonna wrap things up because I do have to go and get some rice on and cook a dinner. Because the curry has been slowly cooking away for the last hour and a half, so I need to get the rice on. It needs to be cooked anyway. But yeah, thanks guys for coming along. Hope you've all enjoyed it. Hope you've appreciated and bear with the fact that the technical issue that was enforced upon us for 10 minutes or more, 15 in the end actually, once we found out Mike still hadn't turned himself back on properly. Appreciate you stuck around and didn't allow me to get myself focused in and go again, and give you the information that I've given you tonight in terms of Modric and my thoughts on the Alfred's going to Chelsea and all that, and then going back on giving my reaction to the new Arsenal look, the new Emirates Stadium look, in terms of what's going to look like from the outside now. The new memorials that they're putting out there, or what they call memorials. That's literally art, basically. Arsenal-related art. But with Stefan says, great seeing everyone. Thank you for coming in and appreciating it. And also, if you are new to the channel, please do smash that like button. Do subscribe. Do share the content around. It is massively appreciated, even when we have a bit of a technical issue enforced on us, we don't even know about it. And I will be back on Saturday because it's a Manchester derby on Saturday. Because it's a Manchester derby, and it basically does sort of tie into Arsenal in terms of the title race from the men's side of things. I will be covering the Manchester derby on Saturday, so come around for that. The thumbnail's all ready. I've just got to get the streams out for that, so keep an eye out for that. And I hope you see you then for the neutral watch along of the Man United versus Man City. I don't know what I want happening in that game, but you know what? If anything, I want a draw. I want a goalless, boring draw in that one. But have you guys keep you great company, hopefully. And then obviously Arsenal to do their job on Sunday. But yeah, so what we're on today, we're on Wednesday. Unless anything happens between now and the Manchester derby, this will be it until then. If something comes out that a break is officially done, I'll then come back and we'll discuss it as he is an Arsenal player by then, basically. Other than that, it's, as I say, the Manchester derby on Saturday, match of the day at around 10:30 on Saturday. Obviously revisiting that Manchester derby and other games on Saturday, as we always do for the last couple of seasons now. And then on Sunday, you've got the Arsenal women versus Chelsea women in the WSL live at the Emirates. And then you've got the one, the only, Scum versus the Spuds, the Scum, against the mighty Arsenal. That possibly the best time to play them as well. Hopefully, the men do the job. No matter what happens on Saturday with the Manchester derby, long as our lads do their job, I'll be laughing. Oh dear. And then back on Monday for the podcast to review everything that's happened over the festive period and that North London derby. Hopefully, it'll be a very, very positive one. But until then, guys, hope you have a good evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. If you want to become a member, all the details going across the screen now. There's a 99p level and a £2.99 level. They're always state that price. They will never go any higher than that. All the perks will be listed as you become a member. Emojis are coming in the next couple of days. Do bear with me, I keep saying this, but that is the case. They'll be live and active to use in the next couple of days. It's a month-by-month thing. So with regards to the cost of living crisis in the UK and around Europe, if you ever need to step away for a month or two, you do have that option. Once you become a member, you can always step away for a couple of months and come back when it's more stable for you to do so. Probably, Stefan says probably United. No, you're Ipswich fans, so you have no sort of affiliation to that game. I'm saying best case actually, in the circumstances where United have found themselves in now, best case for Arsenal was them for that Manchester derby to be a draw, and then for the scummy bastards on the other side of North London to get battered on Sunday. And Arsenal build themselves a bit more of a breathing space in the title race. But until then, guys, as always, up the Arsenal. Come on, you Gunners.